Welcome back. Republican leaders in El Paso County are now calling on a prosecutor to get involved in a push to ban books in libraries and school libraries in Colorado. We actually reported this earlier this week. A conservative advocacy group has flagged hundreds of books in school libraries across El Paso and Teller counties. They say that these include topics, quote, that are debased, like racism, sexism, issues around LGBTQ.
And that's why we brought in Whitney Traylor, because part of this is they're asking the prosecutor for penalties for promoting or possession of what they deem material that is obscene.
Yes.
First of all, there's a definition there that's going to be probably complicated, but does it stand in court?
Well, I don't think the criminal prosecution is going to stand at all. I mean, this seems to be politically motivated because of the way they're going about it. It's every state, there's about 6 or 7 states that they've already tried this. So I think it's going to be difficult, but from a legal issue, both on the criminal side and just in book bans in general, a lot of the issues around whether this is obscene. And so, of course, it's like, well, what is the definition of obscene? And the court, there's a Pico case in 1982 where the court talked about it, and then there's a Miller versus California case where the court actually defined what is deemed to be obscene, and it's a very technical 3-part test. But one thing that's super relevant is that it's based on community standards. So here, if you have this very conservative area of town in Colorado Springs or whatever that's pushing for that, they'll have a stronger case when this is based on community standards because they're a little more conservative down there.
Whereas, you know, it's completely different if they go to Boulder or someplace.
Boulder, Denver,
Yeah,
a lot of
or
different
Denver.
places,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
But you have to assume that a prosecutor is even going to be willing to chase this down in the
Right.
first place. And then if they have some sort of a law they can turn to, I'm not real clear on what's in Colorado law.
Yeah, so they would have to push on this sort of general notion of possession of illicit materials. And so again, the first step would have to be deeming that it's illicit, and how you would enforce that, how you would choose who's going to be prosecuted, because is it the librarian? Is it the school board who determined that the book could be there in the first place? You know, there's all these different players. So as far as the criminal prosecution, I see this more, staying in my lane as the legal analyst, I see this more as a political play than anything else.
And it has been politically, I guess, in the news more recently, as of late, in the last couple of years, book bans, but they've been around for a long time.
They have been around for a long time, and really the issue is you can ban books. It has to be content neutral, unless, in the court specifically, this Pico case in 1982, the Supreme Court said that you can't ban books for partisan or political reasons. But then again, they said, yes, if it's obscene. So then that's sort of the catch-all that everybody can sort of come back to and say, hey, we're trying to eliminate this obscenity or whatever. And that's usually dealing with sexual orientation issues. But now they're really trying to whitewash this whole history, and they're not dealing with obscene issues. They're dealing with issues of slavery and some of these other things. And it's like, there's not a positive side to slavery. You're not, you know, either we're celebrating the 4th of July and the history of this country, including the things that come with it, and slavery and all these other things, or we're not. I mean, it's just, you can't pick and choose, really, is the argument. And other people are saying, well, the parents are protecting their kids, but when it's based on this sort of partisan push, it doesn't seem like it's really focused on the children.
You made several comments about the politics behind all this. I wonder if maybe legally it doesn't go anywhere, but the pressure alone can influence a school board, can influence a librarian.
Yes.
And if that has worked in other places, it's too much trouble to fight it, or you know your community may not back some of these books. Perhaps insert any time a book ban has come up, right? Not even just now. Perhaps there's something there behind that strategy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And what you're seeing is the American Library Association reported that since 2022, you've seen this vast increase. And in fact, it was about 1,200 book challenges a year, I guess, increase, which is very significant. So I think you're seeing the political pressure. And then, of course, if you add the potential of criminal prosecution, you're going to have even more persuasion. And the problem is, and I have about 6 pages of notes on book banning, so I spent a lot of time on this, and a lot of the folks have acknowledged they haven't read the books. And so that's what's even more dangerous, is to try and censor an idea or censor a book that you haven't actually read. So that's based on title or this political sort of machine that's moving this idea along.
Well, it's hundreds of books. How are you
Yes.
supposed to get through all of them?
Right, exactly right.
Happy reading.
Yes,
Okay, but
yes.
then we're going to bring you back on another topic next week altogether, so you can start reading about that.
Yes, I'll get up to speed. Yes, as long as nothing's banned, you know,
No,
let's keep
that's
the
good.
information out there. Yes.
We appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks, Whitney.
Good to be here.